Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. An update on the Major Richard Starr Act. I received an update here, notification, and I wanted to share it with you. We have a new co-sponsor on the Major Richard Starr Act, Senate Bill 344. So remember that there's a companion bill. So there's one in the House and there's one in the Senate. On the Senate side, we have the new co-sponsor. That is John Kennedy, Senator John Kennedy out of Louisiana. Thank you so much for your support. And that takes us to a total of 71 co-sponsors in the Senate. And again, that's Senate Bill 344. All right. So with that, I'm also going to touch base and read through the one-pager from the Wounded Warrior Project on these two bills. It's, again, Senate Bill 344, and then it's H.R. 1282. Are the two bill numbers on the House of Representatives and Senate side. In addition, I also reached out to Washington, D.C., to the author of the bill on the House side and spoke with his veteran liaison about the bill, where we're at, what are we looking at. They are still working hard on pushing out information and getting this bill to potentially cross the finish line. There has been some unfortunate hiccups with some funky accounting on the side of the Congressional Budget Office, which makes it a little bit, I guess, a bumpier road. So they are not derailed. They are still pushing hard to get this bill to move. There are some slight language differences between the two bills, so they might work on adjusting some of that. And also they are not opposed to, if it looks like this won't pass for some reason, they're not opposed, obviously, to having it included into a much larger piece of legislation such as the NDAA. So with that, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Two asks, right? Hit that thumbs up and let the video run. That puts this information into the hands that need it. And look, if you want to support the channel in other ways, please consider being a member. You can do so. Go to the homepage of this channel, and then you will see highlighted members and a join button. You can do that there. So on the Wounded Warrior Project, they have a nice little one-pager here, and I wanted to share this with you. Again, Senate Bill 344 and H.R. 1282 are the two bills. So why is this bill necessary? When service members retire from the military, they are entitled to both retired pay from the Department of Defense and disability compensation from the Department of Veterans Affairs if they were injured while in service. Unfortunately, only military retirees with at least 20 years of service and a disability rating of at least 50% are able to collect both benefits at the same time. For all other retirees, current law requires a dollar-for-dollar offset of these two benefits, meaning they have to forfeit a portion of the benefits they earned in service. It is time to fully honor veterans who were medically retired as a result of injuries incurred in combat or combat-related training, regardless of time in service. These veterans have earned all the benefits through their extraordinary sacrifice in defending our nation. What does this bill do? There's two bullet points. One, in 2004, Congress eliminated the offset for military retirees with at least 20 years of service and disability ratings of at least 50%. And look, a little side note, in my opinion, if you served 20 years in the military, you should be over 50%. If you are not over 50% and you have more than 20 years in service, you should contact an accredited veterans representative near you and have we'll call it a benefits checkup, right? Get in there and have some conversations. There could be some increases that are due to you, secondary conditions, or maybe some missed service connected conditions. The second bullet point here is the Major Richard Starr Act would expand this policy to the 42,000 retirees, keyword, retirees, not just medically discharged, must be medically retired, the 42,000 retirees whose military careers were cut short due to combat-related injuries, finally allowing them to collect hundreds of dollars per month that they have been denied up till now. All right, so the next section here is who is eligible, and I got to kind of look a little bit differently here to read through this. So who is eligible? Under the Major Richard Starr Act, former service members who are medically retired from the military with less than 20 years of service, Chapter 61 retirees, and are eligible for combat-related special compensation, CRSC, would no longer have their benefits reduced by the offset. This includes those who were retired for injuries sustained in combat and combat-related training. Then there's a little last paragraph there that talks about the Wounded Warrior Project and their efforts to end the offset. So I'll go ahead and just read that since I'm reading it off of their page anyway. So Wounded Warrior Project efforts to end the offset. And it's really kind of a funky situation here with my, let's see if I can fix it. All right, there you go. So we're Wounded Warrior Project efforts to end the offset. DOD retired pay and VA disability compensation are two different benefits. It seems pretty simple. Established by Congress for two different reasons. It's baffling to me that we even have to go through this. Wounded Warrior Project, and what I mean is go through this with Congress to get them to fix it, to allow these medically retired veterans, right, to be able to collect both. All right. Wounded Warrior Project strongly believes that collecting both benefits should never be considered double dipping. Me too. And no retiree should be subject to the offset. Agreed. For this reason, Wounded Warrior Project will continue to support legislation to eliminate the offset for all, in capital letters, retirees and considers the Major Richard Starr Act one step toward achieving that goal. So they support, obviously, the Major Richard Starr Act. I'm glad that we have another sponsor. I'm glad that there's still efforts being pushed. In addition, what the Wounded Warrior Project is saying is ending all offsets, right? So even if you are for example, and it kind of mentioned it at the beginning, is let's say that you're a retiree with 22 years of service, and you have a 30% rating, and you can't collect both, right? So you have that funky offset. So that's just, it's not acceptable. That shouldn't even exist. Because again, like the Wounded Warrior Project said, there are two different benefits for two different reasons. So I don't understand why it's even a problem. So in any case, wanted to bring you up to speed. Hope that helps clarify anything for those that aren't fully sure what the Major Richard Starr Act is or what it's for. And also, again, giving you that insight on the additional sponsor. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.